67 Coronet, we are back. Let's go ahead and do the walk around. Let me show you what I've completed in the last 2 months because I feel like it's taking forever. No turning back now. We got Emmy Lou sitting there. She's always a good help here. I think she sleeps more than she helps, but that's what happens when you're an old dog. Ain't that right? You old, you want some water, huh? It's hot today. So we did the Dynomat the whole inside, which came out awesome. We got I think I overkilled on the battery wire coming up to the front because I'm running my battery into the trunk. 2-aught, I think that's a big wire. But you know, the bigger the better. I always like to have a little bit extra than too small. So extra copper, that is. So we got that pushed in. We're all ready to go there. On the engine side, what did we do last I talked to you? Water pump, got the engine all mounted with the engine plate, got the headers in, got the brakes all in, ready to go. I need to order an MSD ignition, MSD box. That's why I stopped on wires and all that stuff. Anyway, gas pump, fuel tank is here, needs to get mounted. We got one door that needs to get mounted today. We're gonna cut and buff that. I got the old wire harness. I'm gonna go through that, cut out what I don't need. And we will continue. I did bring in my steering columns that I had. I have a 66 steering column. The 67 original steering column, the steering wheel on it unfortunately is junk. It's seen too much sun, it's all busted up. And then I have some crazy steering column that was in the parts car. Problem is here, these are not long enough the steering column is not long enough to catch the new manual steering box. These steering columns are all from power steering boxes, so they're not as long. People said they're telescopic and I could like pull this out, but I haven't got that far yet. But anyway, there's an adapter you could buy. It's probably about 4 inches that I might get, and so I could put the original steering column back in. If you have a 1967 black steering wheel that's decent condition, I don't care if it's cracked a little bit, it's just the gloss on it. I need the gloss because that one there you can't even clean on that, it's so bad. Hit me up in the comments, I'll buy it from you or I'll trade you something. If you're not using it, I've had a few people hit me up for steering wheels, but I don't have one in my possession yet. Worst comes to worst, I'll use my 66 steering wheel. It's just like I said, it's all cracked up too, so, and then I'll eventually get one. But I'm not dead in the water, I just would like to have a nicer one. Anyway, let's continue. We got the fender on. Big mission accomplishment on for me, because now we get to almost see the whole car and what she's turning out to, well, what she's starting to look like. Now, because I got in a hurry, I didn't cut and buff the car yet. I started getting, I don't know, impatient, so I started putting my chrome on and stuff, which I shouldn't have done, but I mean, it's not going to be a big deal. But if you look, you can see that the paint is a little bit different, but that's because I didn't cut and buff this, and I cut and buffed this. So I'm thinking about getting motivated today or maybe this evening and just take a little panel at a time, just cut it in sections. I did the trunk, so we're good there. It's just the car itself, and that's my own fault. But here we go, fender's on. Looks pretty good. I give myself a B- maybe. And the reason why is just my gaps aren't as perfect as I want them to be, but also I gotta remember, you know, there's filler in these now. So nothing's gonna be factory anymore, which, I mean, it looks good, don't get me wrong. It's just, I like everything just super tight. I don't want I want everything just to flow. And, you know, it's just, it is what it is now with this bad boy. So that is the next step. Fender's on. I'm gonna start working the door. I'm gonna start working the door on the other side, and then I'll work the fender. We almost got it pretty much wired. I don't know if I showed you this. I got all my wiring about done. Everything's kind of hanging, just waiting for to hook up this water pump and a radiator with the fan on it and headlights and all that stuff. I ended up getting an MSD distributor, which is the same thing I have in the Beep Beep, and I really like it. It's just caused me no grief, but you're gonna pay to play on one of those. I think I paid like $480 for that thing. That about broke the bank, believe me. I did last video, I wrapped my pipes. I don't know if I even showed you. They look really good. All right, so in here in the car itself, if you could see, that's pretty much my wire panel. MSD box 6AL. A buddy of mine gave me that, so I'm a little hesitant. He said it worked fine, but it's been sitting out in my shed for about 2-3 years now, so we'll see. This is the dumps. I ran like a double cigarette lighter. I always like to have one USB for phones. I'm not going to do no stereo in this thing or anything crazy right now. I don't know if I ever will. It's probably going to be too loud anyway. If anything, you could put headphones on. But that's my box, so everything's pretty much wired in here. I haven't tested nothing yet, so we're just rolling the dice. I feel comfortable with it, so that's good. And let's see, carpet. We got the carpet in the box. Got to do that. All the switches are in. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm still waiting, still trying to get a steering wheel for this bad boy. And it's not that I don't have a steering wheel. It's just the ones I do have are rough. They got big gaps in them just from being old, and so I'm not liking it. I'm trying to get this one guy to send me a steering wheel. Looks pretty pristine. Only problem is I looked up his profile on Facebook and he has no profile. He's saying all the right things. He wants $150 for it, but I'm like, I'm a little nervous. I'm thinking about rolling the dice just to see if he'll pull through. But at the same time, I don't know. We'll see. So this is basically the part where I just am showing you the grill here and how I put it together. Now, I was originally going to go with the black inserts on the high beam side to make it look like the Supoer Stock picture that we started with when I first started this build. But the yellows just came out so nice. They look so good with the blue. And I did find these yellow bulbs on Summit, but they're like $200 for a set. So what I usually do is I'll just go up to like Hobby Lobby and get the glass spray paint. It's like a little model spray can, and do a light mist on them, and they come out absolutely awesome. I just love the way they look. This grill here was originally missing from the car when we first grabbed it from the gentleman who passed away. We went back a few weeks later just to pick around, and my buddy Jeff noticed a box with grill pieces sticking out of it. We probably walked by it about 10 times, and he said, "Hey Brad, isn't that your grill?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sure is." So we lucked out there, because to find a grill for these things is just, anything 67 is a little tough, especially a nice pristine piece. We did go up to the junkyard up at Billy West Garage there in Selma, and we found the headlight bezels in a trunk of a 67, so and those were pristine too. So we kind of lucked out on this whole grill thing, is basically what I'm trying to say. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is fill this thing up with water. I'm going to do antifreeze, but for now, in case there's leaks, I don't want to lose all my antifreeze, because you know, you always get that one leak or so. So we'll just use water now. What the frick? And then we'll go ahead and do fuel. See if I'm getting fuel up to these carbs. Cross your fingers on that. I bought these carbs used with the tunnel ram. He said they ran when they were pulled off a D10 truck, or D100 I mean truck. He said he seemed legit, but we'll see. Because if it fires up, then we gotta keep spraying some more water in it, so it's gonna circulate it all in there. Actually, you know what we could do? We could turn the water pump on real quick. What happened? Problems already. Everything went off. So right off the bat, first hiccup. Brand new electric water pump. For some reason worked real good, and then when I put water in it and put a load on it, she just wanted to start blowing fuses. I ended up getting back with the company, and they sent me a new one. Just blows my mind how this stuff right out of the box is already causing problems. Anyway, just to get it running, we had about 10 minutes before to blow a fuse, so we ended up just changing a few fuses, and I ended up doing a bad thing and putting like a 30 in it just to keep it running a little longer so we could test this thing out. I didn't touch nothing. If the shit hits, no, higher. If the shit hits the fan, we gotta push this thing backwards out of here, okay? Like if we get a fire or something I can't control, we're gonna push, the game plan is push it out back, okay?
That hose will take care of it.
Well, or we need to push it out front where the hose is, probably. Make sure we don't listen for leaks.
Just gotta put the glove box back on.
Oh, got you. Sorry, I'm paranoid. Go ahead. This means let it go. This means just keep cranking.
That started sounding good.
Holy shit. Why is that so damn hot? Alright, go ahead. We ain't getting shit.
Your fuel pump not working?
I don't have fuel pump. I got mechanical. Oh, you're saying, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pull the line though, right now. Okay. Oh, we already got a leak. Yeah, it's coming. Go ahead. Fire up, power. Hey, if it runs wide open or something, which it won't, but if it does, hit that switch and it'll shut everything off. That first switch. Because it ain't gonna shut off the key. Don't sound that loud.
That smell.
Oh. I ain't just burning the headers and getting stuff going out.
There's nothing on fire.
Look under the dash. You see anything?
No.
Alright. Anything smell funny? Besides under that dash? No? Alright. I don't like it. Go ahead. It's just a header wrap.
That's what I was saying.
Huh?
I said that's what I was saying. That's what it was smelling.
It's just a header wrap. My water pump just keeps on blowing, man. Damn. Huh? Yeah, that's why the water keeps popping up. Well, it wasn't very successful. I mean, it was successful as far as firing it up. But here's the issues we're having. So my electric water pump is getting super hot. It's popping fuses. I put a 30 in there just to see maybe I put a little too small of a fuse, and I know that's not good for it, but it held for a little bit of time. It just don't feel like it's circulating right. I mean, I popped one of the water pump plugs, and it shot water out of it, so I think it's turning, but it's not happy. The wires aren't hot. It's just that motor's super hot. So I don't know, maybe I have the motor bound or something inside the housing. I'm gonna pull it out. I already wrote the company and said, look, I just put this thing in, finally ran water to it, and she's running like crap. So without my water pump, I can't start dialing the car in. Anyway, that's where we're at. Keep on rolling.